Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
This was our Patreon exclusive yesterday. Boy, time just seems weird, does it not?
It does seem really weird.
This feels like it was 2 years ago, and yet it was only yesterday.
I know, kind of a long day there.
Yeah, it's just so strange. But again, Patreon exclusives going up each week, usually multiple times. Sometimes, there's almost a Patreon exclusive every single day.
Yes, and we want to say a huge thank you to Joe for being here with us on this ride.
There's some things going on astrologically, Vedic astrologically, that we want to talk about. And we're going to go into some depth on some aspects that hopefully will shed light. I just want to go back to childhood. Anybody ever play Monopoly? I'm sure you have. You remember, you got the railroads, you got Boardwalk, Park Ave, and you got all these other properties. Who out there ever volunteered to be the bank in Monopoly?
I don't know, but I really enjoyed playing Horseopoly.
Horseopoly?
Yep, they have a Horseopoly game. It was great.
Well, okay. I wasn't aware of that, yep. But getting back to the financial sides of things, one of the things that came out the last time we had this astrological conjunction going on, and we had Jupiter entering Gemini, was going all the way back to the Edward Snowden big whistleblowing events. You guys remember this, right? 2013, while working as a government contractor, Snowden leaked highly classified information from the NSA, exposing U.S. Secret Service and government spying on the world's internet usage. He was convicted or indicted for espionage. His disclosures revealed numerous global surveillance programs, many of them run by the NSA and Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, with the cooperation of telecommunication companies and European governments, prompted a cultural discussion about national security and individual privacy. So when you look at this, he had been employed by Dell and CIA. When you realize that these entities that are supposed to be doing everything in their world to protect you every single day, when really what goes on is they protect their own investments and those that are in the club. This is a big realization. When somebody is the banker in Monopoly and you got to go take a potty break while you're away, they might all of a sudden add to the bank. While you're going to get some more milk and cookies, they're pilfering from you and everybody else playing the game. This is what's been going on, quite simply put. Over 40 Congress representatives caught insider trading, beating the market by up to 280%. Multiple Congress reps taking over 6 years before reporting their transactions. No punishments, remember. Nancy Pelosi wants to make sure that every transaction you do, that's $400, $600-ish, has to be completely explained and tracked. And, they, meanwhile, they operate above the law. They operate like that kid that takes the opportunity to steal from you while you go get some more milk and cookies to bring back to them and continue the game. This is what has been going on the entire time. Maxine Waters, Ilhan Omar, AOC, again, these campaign contributions. They're in a club. You're not in it. I'm not in it unless you're actually, one of the club listening into this video and reporting back to the rest of the club. This is the reality. They have insider information and they utilize it as would benefit them. They're part of this, it really is a secret society, though it's not so secret in some ways, yet it is secret in other ways. And the fact that they are stealing from all of us all the time. This is just what they do. And when people recognize what's going on, well, they're quickly quieted or have been quieted, or they're ostracized from society. Again, those kids, they're not going to want to play with you. If you start questioning the narrative and saying, wait a minute, you didn't have all those bills before. Well, I just printed them. because it serves my purpose. Or, well, when are they going to lower rates so we can all, get on with our lives? Well, hey, the Fed doesn't answer to anyone, because the Fed is, again, it's a secret society that controls everything by being the bankers. Those that control the money supply control everything. This is something that was stated by a Rothschild. And yet, what do we have going on in this world? Well, we have blockchain now coming in. And again, it could very well be that Satoshi Nakamoto was actually, a consortium of CIA, NSA. You might as well throw in MI6. You might as well throw in Mossad. Again, they're all different aspects of the multi-tentacled giant system that has controlled us and maintained authority over us through, basically making like they're looking out for our best interests, when they're only looking out for their own interests. With blockchain, what you have is, and theoretically, it should be information that anybody can see at any time, that's totally public, so you would not be able to fudge things. You couldn't just simply add more of the bank to yourself when somebody's not looking, doing a cookie run, a milk run. Again, this is kind of the theory behind it. Yet we understand that they are intent on, again, digitalizing all the assets of the entire world, tokenizing them for barter and trade. Again, the system is going to want to control its ability to control us. This is just a given. So what you have here is a system that should be totally open, and you should have the inability to hide things from anybody. Yet again, we understand that the system is what the system truly is, and that is greedy to the core and self-serving to the core. This is from Coin Bureau. What is interesting here is that despite what people say about crypto and money laundering, the blockchain enabled the feds to trace them. 6 years of transaction history immutably stored on an open ledger would have been harder if it was cash or gold. Criminals leave tracks. Today's case is a reminder that the FBI has the tools to follow the digital trail wherever it may lead. Again, this isn't a case where they caught somebody doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing. Yet the reality is, those that are supposed to be policing things are the criminals. That's the big realization in this time, and that's where Jupiter in Gemini helps us to see things for what they are. And again, the system is always trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the majority of people on the planet. Of course, all that are not in the club, so to speak.
I look at this and I think the children, the one that runs off to get the milk and cookies and their money's being siphoned. If you translate that to the adult version, they really get to us when we are busy out working and we're trying to put food on the table and we're stressed about bills and we're worried about our kids and our health is not well because of all the poison that they feed us. Well, that's the adult version of what that looks like. So while we are very, very busy adulting, we don't have time to look deep into that stuff. So this is why we've really been digging in lately, and still we're not giving any kind of financial advice. We're just trying to inform people. Whatever route you take, just be informed, because I think they're going to kind of corner a lot of people, and it's going to be impossible at some point to even fill your tank up with gas without having some of this type of currency. So it's like, how do we work this so that we are better off for ourselves? Because realistically, I can't go live in the forest. I can't live under a rock. I have to have a home. I need gas. So these are just taking all things into consideration. And the more information we have, the better off we are going to be. So hopefully some of this information helps people make the decisions they need to make so they can have a good, happy life, so you can not be so stressed, so you can do the things you need to do for you and just be happy.
You know, the again, the stock market crash of 1929, the Great Depression, and then you had this happen, the Great Gold Confiscation, again, that's Executive Order 6102, signed by four-term President Franklin D. Roosevelt, April 5th, 1933, there's that 33, which forbade the hoarding of gold coin, gold bullion, gold certificates within the United States. All individuals were required to deliver quantities of gold exceeding $100 to the Federal Reserve May 1st, 1933, in exchange for $20.67 per troy ounce. This was theft. This was thievery. This was stealing at gunpoint. And don't think they wouldn't do this again.
No, I mean, so it doesn't really matter. The control system is going to kind of do what they do. So we have to protect ourselves in however that looks like, whatever we need to do. So I don't know. I think the best protection we have is information.
Yeah, and so, the government over here, you see, the government upheld its authority to seize gold, and gold ownership remained illegal in the U.S. until the 1970s. Let that sink in. So, again, as long as the system is in place, there cannot be any freedom. There's no freedom within the system. Freedom lies outside of the system. So, thus, the whole system does have to collapse. It has to collapse, and that is really what is totally imperative. The power structure needs to be dissolved because the power structure is the problem. They are the problem. And recognizing who's in the club and who's not, that's the big question.
Indeed.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.